Hey, what's going on with you guys, man? So I'm back. I was gonna do this video last night directly after the Tank fight, but I was a little tired. I was a little lazy, so we're doing it today. I'm doing it this evening, the day after the fight. Um, we got a lot to talk about from the fight, man. I definitely want to touch on a few things. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Hector Garcia was a decent fight at best. I wouldn't say exciting or anything like that. Felt like both guys started pretty slow, but I think both guys like Wakanda had a healthy fear of each other, and you could tell by the amount of punches thrown. Those first 4 rounds, it felt like they only threw like maybe 30 punches around, if that. Um, the punch stats likely say different, I'm sure, but just the feeling of watching the fight, it looked like they both were waiting for the perfect shot. Now Hector Garcia probably let his hands go a little bit more than Tank for sure. Um, there were points in I probably say like the first, yeah, I probably say yeah in those first 4 rounds where Tank he wasn't throwing it, he wasn't letting his hands go at all, man. He wasn't jabbing. He was just throwing that left hand. Occasionally a jab to the body though, but wasn't too many of those. Few hooks and whatnot. Pretty much just searching for power shots, man. He got into a few exchanges with Hector Garcia, with both of them exchanging left hands, and honestly, you could tell Tank is that he's that special of a fighter where he doesn't have to even beat you up the whole fight. He just needs to land his shots. Maybe he just needs to land probably like 30 power shots before it gets to you, and the fight is gonna end soon. That's why he can fight so unaggressive, I guess you could say, right? So no, the obvious and a big thing that's coming out from that fight is the fight outside the fight, which it wasn't really a fight. Meek Mill clarified he was just arguing with I think it was Gary Russell Jr. So he escorted himself out. I don't even know if that they was kicked out, but they got into a little heated discussion. But Tank, I want to get on this too as well. Man, I'm jumping all over the place with this because I don't never take notes down or anything like that. I don't read off anything, so I'm just going wherever my mind takes me. So, excuse me, that was nasty. Tank, I think it was the seventh round. I think it was the seventh round where Tank really started to catch Hector, and you can see Hector was really feeling the power. I think he stunned him once. I think he stunned Hector once in that seventh round. Then the eighth round is where he really rocked him, had him a little bit out on his feet. But Hector showed that he kept his composure, man. He definitely went back to the corner, and I guess he's like no mas, man. He didn't want any more. Now, when I saw that, I was like, he pretty much quit on the fight. Now, of course, we don't want to see anybody viciously knocked out or like really have some sustained injuries, like something that might require surgery. But when I heard his reasoning for not coming back out, he said he couldn't see, and then immediately after the fight, what was that? Maybe 5 minutes max, because they talked to Tank for maybe about 2.5, 3 minutes, and then immediately after that, they talked to Hector, and he said his vision was good, so he was just, but it said his head hurt a little bit, so a championship fight. I mean, I guess it wasn't for a real belt, and he already has one. Hector already has one at 130. So I thought the way I looked at it is, all right, he's just preserving himself. He's already a champion at 130. He got his payday. He already knew that the inevitable was coming. He's about to get knocked out soon. He didn't want to be on the highlight reel, right? Now I see a lot of people getting I see a few people criticizing the people that are saying he quit, and say he looked for a way out. I guess because in boxing we have had some boxers die or whatnot like that. I don't think it was to that point per se, but everybody's a little sensitive around the topic. But I'm standing on it, man. I think he quit. He felt like he was gonna get knocked out soon. He didn't want to be on a highlight reel. I don't think like his eye wasn't swelled up, anything crazy. I don't think he has an orbital fracture, dislocated eye, anything like that. So I feel like if he was still in the fight, honestly, like it's not like Gervonta was dominating the fight. I gave Hector about I think I gave Hector 3 of the first 8 rounds. Um, it's not like the fight was far from over. They had about 4 more to go. Um, I felt like he quit. You know, it's up to. I would love to hear what you guys think about that. Like I said, he looked for a way out. I'm mad at him, but I ain't really too mad at him because I respect him, man. You got your payday. You gonna go back to 130, do your thing. Probably set up a fight with you and Leo Santa Cruz at 130. That'll be a good fight because Leo dropped his WBA belt. I think yeah, he dropped his WBA belt, and you know, it got sent down to who was it? I think that's when Roger Gutierrez had like the interim, so Gutierrez became the champ or whatever, and then that was they were setting up for Colbert to get that belt, and then Colbert lost to Hector Garcia, and then Hector Garcia for Gutierrez. So now Hector became the champ. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna line Leon Santa Cruz for that belt, and that'll be a good scrap. Of course, Hector did his thing. I think Hector gets he might pack Leo Santa Cruz up. That's a good fight though. But what's another thing I want to talk about? I want to talk about Calvin Ford, bro. So this is maybe like 3 or 4 fights in a row where I've seen Tank lose his focus either in the ring or in the corner. And I don't know what's going on with Calvin Ford, but you gotta get on Tank's ass, bro. There's no way. I think at one point in this fight he asked, "Is Ellaby here?" He was looking for people in the crowd during the corner. Calvin Ford wasn't even really giving some real instructions, and I know he's a good trainer, but I think Gervonta, they're too cool at this point now, right? Like, yeah, he might be a good motivator and good trainer for him inside the gym, but when it comes to that corner, it's like Tank's mind is just focused on a bunch of different other things. And I don't know. I think he need to get with somebody a little bit more disciplined, who's not gonna play games with him like that, bro. Because that's kind of imagine him in a serious fight with like a Shakur, and he's losing focus because he's arguing with somebody in the crowd, like when he did it versus Rolly. I think he said he was talking to Tio, or you know, he's talking about where's Ellaby, what round. Like, you don't need to be worrying about any of those things, man. You need to be 100% focused on your opponent, especially an opponent who is giving you some good work. So that's one thing I think I'm gonna end it on that, honestly. But that's a big a no for me. So if they can get that together, Tank, you gotta throw more punches, man. You get in there with a Shakur. I don't think Tank can beat Shakur, man. We seen he had a little bit of problems with this Hector Garcia. Hector Garcia, he looks like a kind of a natural lightweight too. Another southpaw as well. So we seen the southpaws giving Tank trouble, and somebody with decent reach, which is what Shakur definitely has. I think they need to stay away. Go after that Ryan Garcia. Get that big money. Get the knockout win. And keep chasing that bag until that's, I guess, until Shakur builds himself up into a superstar or whatever, and then they can make that fight happen. But no way in hell can he beat Shakur at all at this point. So with that being said, I think I'm gonna end it right there, man. Those are all my thoughts on the fight for the most part. Like I said, man, Tank need to get a little bit more active, man. He start fighting better competition, man. He can't just be super selective with his punches. He's gonna have to let that jab go, set up his punches a little bit more, and cause he's gonna fight guys that are naturally bigger than him most of the time anyway. So with the longer reach, so need to see him, and when he start fighting guys with more power, so he needs to be a little bit more disciplined in that. And with that being said, I'm gonna head up out of here, man. Peace.